Here we go. That's Trey.
And that's Goldie.
We're friends
From college.
Then Trey married my sister.
But unfortunately, we got divorced.
We don't talk about that.
Mostly because there's nothing to talk about.
It was all good.
Our friendship deepened while we were both employed at an event production consulting company,
We spent 280 plus days on the road
which made us expert business travelers.
and expert best friends who always had one goal in mind.
Host a podcast together. And after people didn't like the first 6 shows, including one where we interviewed building contractors in the Upper Peninsula while they were working,
And one where we searched the country for the next great kid blues guitarist.
we realized we weren't making shows about our true passion.
We had to talk about the thing we know and love more than anything.
Welcome to Business Trips. All right, welcome to Business Trips, everyone. This week we're going to talk to a great guest. We're very excited, but first, a word from our sponsor.
Business Trips is brought to you by Rompage Hardware. Rompage Hardware is a locally owned hardware store here to serve all of your DIY or pro needs. Located on 1801 Western, Rompage Hardware has it all. Hand tools, power tools, pipe fitting, and yes, we make keys. We can make single keys, but often wonder why not make multiples and save yourself the hassle of having to come back sooner than later. That said, we love it when you come to see us, so scratch that. Window repair, window shades cut, we have it all. Rompage looks like the word rampage, but isn't. It's Rompage, not rampage. But if thinking of the verb rampage is helpful in thinking of us here at Rompage, we'll take it. See you soon. Let's help you fix it.
Love that place. Rompage on Western. Thank you to them. We're here today with Charlotte. Welcome, Charlotte. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thanks for having me. You can just call me Charl.
Charl,
Yeah.
thanks for being here.
Yeah. So I understand, Charl, that you travel a good amount and that you put together some unique outfits. Is that right?
Well, yeah, definitely. I'm not going to say no. So a lot of people will say, "How many outfits should I bring?" I said, "Well, how much creativity do you have? Because if you bring a little, little color, little tie-dye color kit, you bring some needle and thread, you can just alter your clothes throughout the week."
So you're saying you don't buy new clothes while you're on the road. You take the outfits you brought and you make them into new outfits. So you see Tom on Thursday and you see him again on Friday, and you're wearing the exact same technical clothing.
Tom doesn't know the difference.
I like that.
Tom is complete. And there's some people I've worked with who never know.
Tom's none the wiser.
No.
This is amazing. To me, it makes a lot of sense because, Trey and I talk about this a lot. It's so tough to know what to pack for a business trip because you might think, I've got a conference on Tuesday morning, and then later on, I'd like to hit the pool, and then after that, there's going to be a dinner. But I don't know what kind of situation. Is it a buffet? What you're saying is, don't worry about trying to pack every single thing. Just take the one thing you bring and get ready to turn it into 6.
Be willing to change, and the world will change for you.
Now, some people are probably just listening to this on audio, but for those who can see or can look up a photo, can you tell us about it? I get the sense that you're wearing a thing that's along the lines of what you're talking about.
I'll tell you right now, this used to be very long all the way down to here. I've trimmed it down. Now it's just a very simple cape. Capes are where I tend to go. I'll be wearing a T-shirt. I'll cut it off and wear a tank top. Eventually I cut it down and it looks more like a half top. By the end, I'll just turn it into a cape, wear that around. You can bring everything down to its simplest form. So for this used to be longer. Nobody's seeing this and going, well, that better suit you if it was longer. Because people can't tell what something was. They only see what it is right now.
That's right. That's deep, too. What was it? What would it...
It was a very, very long robe.
A robe.
A robe. How did you... What made you think to do this?
I was honestly I was an accident. I'd gotten to a place and what happened was they misplaced my luggage. And someone said, "This is going to ruin your trip." I said, "Hell no, you've never met me. Ain't nothing going to ruin this trip for me." I went down and I bought just one white T-shirt from the gift shop. And someone said, you can't wear 7 days worth of one white T-shirt. Everyone's going to
Wow.
laugh their head off at you.
Yeah.
I said, well, I might have something in my pocket. I could wear it the first day. Second day, I cut off the sleeves.
Okay.
Everyone said,
Tank
what's
top.
that? Yeah, it's a tank
Where'd you
top.
get the tank top?
Yeah. I
You're
said,
like, at the
don't.
store.
Yes, at the store. Eventually, I'll take coffee grounds and I dye tan.
What?
I'll take the coffee grounds, the free ones,
The coffee grounds. And then what are you going to do
Where are
with
they
that?
free?
in the hotel room, in the
Oh,
motel
sure,
room.
sure. Oh, yeah.
You know, the
yeah,
little
yeah.
the little
And I
packets.
soak it overnight.
Ah,
Boom.
Then you got a brown tank top. That's 3 nights.
It's a tan tank top because the coffee grounds aren't strong enough, but yes.
But it's stinky. It's a little stinky.
That's okay.
I think everyone is a coffee drinker. If anything, you're going to have people knocking on your door.
I see. Yeah, well, but people like to drink it, but well,
You've seen a little coffee ring on a wood service. Nobody would say, "Oh, don't get near that coffee ring; it's stinky." It's not that kind of stinky.
right, but if your body heat don't
I got a question. Have you ever done it with a hat?
Yeah, I have done it with a hat. I've trimmed up a hat, made it smaller, smaller, smaller until eventually someone said, "What is that on your head?" And I said, well, eventually, but it was the size of an eye patch, and I don't wear an eye patch. But yes, I've shrunk down
Wow,
a hat.
it got small.
Yeah.
wow.
I was gonna say a beanie, but an
Yeah.
eye patch is even small. So it got
It got
down
so
to the size.
small,
Or a yarmulke.
It almost looked like I was making
I think we were all waiting
fun.
for Goldie to say that.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that. You know that's you only see that on the Orthodox, so they probably would then be looking to see because also that's for the men, and you're well we're not allowed to ask that.
No. I got a question for you. What did you dress like in high school? That's what I want to know.
Ooh, nice.
Honestly, I was funny you should ask. I was wearing mostly army clothes, not because I like war, not because I like violence, but I'm in love with nature and I just want to blend in.
Okay. Oh, because those are the camouflage
camo.
is sort of it's more natural. It's a natural palette.
Yeah.
So you're on the road and you got your T-shirt for 3 nights. I still don't get how it got out to 7. And here's my question. Can you make it into a dress? Like a fancy one, especially after you've turned it brown.
You know, truth is you got needle and thread, and ain't nothing going to stop you.
Okay.
But you do need the fabric. You can't create a dress without the fabric.
There's only so much on this T-shirt. you know?
Yes. Now,
the fishes and the loaves.
technically, you'd be stealing a sheet if you sewed it into the dress, but not if you unsew it and put it back on the bed.
Oh, life hack.
So
That's
you
great.
need to have a tiny little pair of scissors to get into the stitching, to unravel. You cannot cut that bed sheet if you're going to use it and then walk away and say, I don't need to pay the bill.
So you do the full sheet.
Yes, I have done it.
And
You
that
cannot dye it or the motel will call you
can't.
Oh,
No.
right.
and say, why?
Why is it? Or why are these
Why
brown?
is this, first you do tie-dye, then you do solid. You never do solid and then tie-dye. Can't go in that order.
What's the most surprising material that you've used that you found on the road or in a hotel that has allowed you to make a new article of clothing?
And I have a follow-up when you're.
Okay.
I'm going to be 100% honest to say the people and everyone who's listening, the time and the energy of not making earrings out of napkins, I did it and it did not work. Earrings out of napkins.
That didn't work.
It did not
Too
work.
Too
Yeah,
flimsy?
They got wet.
They got wet.
Well, maybe in a drier environment,
Mm-hmm.
Or
It's a risk.
did they get wet because of rain?
I think a friend spilled a drink and then boom, I only had one earring.
Spilled a drink on your ear?
On my neck, someone bumped up next to me and I got wet. And
Were
Well,
you
that's
at
a high spill.
It could be you were at a show maybe, or what were you doing?
I was watching a band play. There was a Stevie Nicks cover band. Oh man, I was lost in the zone, and someone stepped back, and boom, that drink went right near my neck. Next thing I know, I'm only one earring, but I feel so moved by the music, I don't care until I get back to my motel room, and I think, never do the napkin earring again.
Yeah, lesson learned. Well, and George Michael used to wear one earring.
The cross?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Here's another question about the napkin earring. I'm actually more surprised that you're able to. How does it fasten inside what is it called? The little.
You need a hook. You need a hook that attaches. And honestly, you can do anything with a glue gun. Now, I always travel with a glue gun because I ain't a fool. But the thing is, now the TSA is going to say, do you have a gun? And you will have to show it to them and have to prove that it's a glue gun because it looks like a gun.
Yes.
The look on their face when you pull it out and they go, why are you traveling
Have
with
you ever
this?
pointed at them and gone, pew, and then they just see a slow drop of glue?
No, I don't think we're not a good time to. Let me ask you something. The hat for our listeners. Charl is wearing a hat that says "Say perhaps to drugs." Talk about that, and is that something that you picked up through your business travels?
No, I'll be totally honest. I had a near-death experience, a full-death experience, honestly. I was in a tractor-trailer accident. I was not driving. I was hit by a tractor-trailer, did not die. I was stayed in the car when the paramedics got there. They said I should have gotten out what they call medically a lot sooner. I tried to climb out, but my body just stayed on fire. They kept firing the hoses, but for some reason I would not go out. I could barely see. I had like flames coming up around my eyes. I start walking home automatically. Boom, that's when I get hit by another tractor trailer.
You're on fire and you get hit. You've been hit, you're on fire, you're on your way home, and you get hit by another tractor trailer.
That's when I died. Next thing I know, I'm in a long line for a water park. This is why I think it's not here and now, because what?
Mm-hmm.
And then they revived
Eventually,
good.
I didn't go down the water slide, but I slipped on something, and boom, right like that, I'm back in my own body.
Wow. That's
Everyone in front of
great.
me is me. Everyone behind me is also me.
Oh.
I don't know if it's heaven, but it's certainly here, wherever I was. So I learned some stuff there.
It seems like one of those effects that you would see in like a 80s music video.
Yeah.
You know, where it's just like hundreds of the same person
love
kind of
that.
fanning out.
Only thing difference is I got huge old long balls, and I don't have them. You can check. You want to check? No, right in real life.
Right.
But in whatever this was, I'm not saying it was heaven.
You did then have that.
I looked down because I'm wearing a bathing suit. I got huge old long balls. I don't. You can check. Do you want to check?
No,
Okay.
I believe you.
Because I don't have them in real life.
I believe that too. I'll tell you what. That's what's so funny about human instinct is you knew to walk home.
Yeah. Automatic. Because I couldn't hear because they kept screaming, "Get out the car!" But I couldn't hear them because the flames were coming up around my ear. Finally, I take a knife, I cut out the top part of the car, climb out, and without even thinking about it, I know which way's north. I know which way I live, and they're hosing me down, but I will not go out.
Yeah.
And because I couldn't see because of flames coming up around my eyes.
I wonder if you were covered in gas.
It could have been it.
I love that story.
I'm going to try and just, for a moment, just bring us back to the show in terms of what when you would travel.
And then, because then I want to circle back to remind me.
I'm not sure we should.
Semi after this,
No,
if
I'm
I
not
forget
sure
keyword.
we should. Is what was your business? What do you do that brought you to travel?
Well, that's what gets tricky. Okay, so there are a lot of people who want to get their animals taxidermied. You know what I'm talking about.
Sure. Yeah,
okay. What is it?
Well, to me, thank you. It's always fun.
Yeah.
To,
and we have talked about this a little bit.
Yeah. To me, it's when a dead animal is gutted, I suppose, and filled with sawdust or whatever.
It's not sawdust, but you know what it is. I just like to know before I get into it.
Insulation?
No. But it's very much similar to what happens when we put people in, in the casket, right? But it's forever. And there are a lot of taxidermies that only want to do the natural poses of nature. No, they refuse. But people, when they get their pets, you can get your pets taxidermy.
Yes.
And they will not put them in poses that you want them in.
For a pet one?
Yeah, some of them won't. But see,
give an example of.
Yeah, what were you looking to get?
Well, there was a woman right outside. I think she was out of Montgomery. I think, if I remember right, and I will have to look it up. I will have to look that
it's
up.
okay.
Okay. So she said, I would like my dog sitting back like this, eating popcorn. And a lot of taxidermy won't do it. Finally, she found me. Now, I don't do it, but my father did it, so I know how to do it. And I wanted to get out the business, do something different, maybe be in a cover band or something. And she says, I will pay you $4,000 to have my dog leaning back eating popcorn. I said, where do you live? And it was either, I can't remember, it was outside of Montgomery, but I will look it up. Do you want me to look it up now?
You
Okay.
don't need to.
And so I go down and visit her, and boom, made $4,000. I go, well, she goes, I got a friend. And he's got this pet, he's got a hamster of all things, but he wants his hamster on his hind legs, looking like he's dancing, one finger up like that, or a hand. They can't separate the fingers, impossible. Even I couldn't do that, but I did do one hand up, one hand down, just like he requested.
Like he's dancing?
Yes.
Oh.
And a lot of taxidermists won't do that.
Do you have to break? Did they have to break the dog's bones?
No. You do not have to braid the dog's bone, because the dog could do that with living, could sit back and eat popcorn.
Well, no. I mean, they don't. I think
But
just
that
what you're
posture.
doing with your arm right now. I don't think I think you would have to.
Well, yeah. So if you didn't break the dog's bones, how do you
Yes.
get when an animal passes? Isn't there a stiffness, sort of
Rigor mortis sets in.
rigor mortis?
But eventually, with the right chemicals, you can ameliorate that, and that ain't no problem.
Posthumous drugs.
Yeah.
You're able to ameliorate the rigor mortis eventually.
This is business trips.
This business trips. I wanted to get back, if I could, just briefly, to the semis incident.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
So, are we talking about a convertible? That's why you were able to cut through.
No, it wasn't. Ain't never been a convertible, and it won't be a convertible. So I'm cutting it open. It is metal, and I got a big knife. It's a long sword. I had a boyfriend who had a machete, and he refused to get rid of it. Long story short, he puts it under the front passenger seat. I said, "You better get that out of my car." He said,
Yeah.
"I will not." Anyway, I pull that out, and I start cutting it through, and that's how I get it. But also, the metal was also soft because of the fire.
It'd been burning for a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the me in front of me in this long line trying to wait for the water park
Yes,
turns
yes,
to me
with
and says, "How long you been here?"
I thought she was going to say, "How long are your balls?"
She had them too. Everyone had these long balls. That's why I don't think it was heaven necessarily, but it certainly wasn't here.
Doesn't sound like heaven.
I think for most people it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be heaven to have the super long balls.
And the line.
Oh, well, yeah, that too.
I hate a line.
And we have done, and just to ask, do you have status on airlines, or do you travel by plane? Or are you a bus person? Do you take a car?
I try to drive myself. Now, a lot of people say, "You crazy to be driving after everything you've been through." I said, "I've been in 4 accidents, all 4. Every time the EMT got there, they said, we're going to call this person in absolutely dead."
They said that.
That's a technical term, absolutely dead.
Yeah. They said every time there was fire
That's
involved.
bad luck.
Every time my car set
Or is
on
it
fire.
good luck? I mean, to be pronounced absolutely dead several times and then be right here with us, I don't know. You might have the best luck I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. So the me in front of me says, "How long you been here?" I said,
Oh, right. Yeah,
I
sorry.
just got here. I just got here."
Right.
I said, "How long
How
you
long had
been
she
here?"
been there? Yeah.
13
13.
13 what?
billion years.
Wow.
I said,
Yes.
"For a water slide, this better be a good water slide."
Oh, man.
Better have a
Wow.
lazy river at the bottom of that one, folks.
I mean, okay.
I said, "Why are you waiting for so long for just a water slide?"
Yeah.
Right.
What'd she say?
She says, "I want to make sure." She looked at me and says, "I want to make sure I enjoy the ride."
Oh.
I'm not sure I understand how waiting for it would. I mean,
I got it.
all right.
I said, 13 billion years.
Yeah. Oh, can
I
you
don't
imagine?
I'm not even sure that the planets had actually even formed then.
Well, I don't know if this was on the planet.
Okay.
I think what we're saying is maybe this was a being.
Trey's better at this than I am. I sometimes have a hard time picturing, and he knows this about me, things that are more conceptual or abstract. And I like to. I'm very, sometimes I'm literal. I'm almost literal. But I got tested for. It doesn't matter. I'm not. I don't. I'm not. It's not a problem. I'm sort of literal sometimes.
I took a religion course in college, and
Here we go.
it opened up my mind a little bit, and because a lot of this stuff is like exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
A lot of it is exactly
what I
like
hear.
you're saying. You're in line, everyone's got balls or whatever, and you're going, well, this is a weird story. And then and some people are like, oh, it's an allegory or whatever, but sometimes it's not.
Sounds like a dream to me, you know?
Well, all I know is everyone behind me is me. Everyone in front of me.
Right.
Lifeguard, also me. Starts yelling, hey, you. I'm like,
To you?
yeah, I'm thinking, because I had just farted. So I said, am I in trouble for farting? That's what I think. But then I'm also like, everyone's me. You don't mind the smell of your own farts. But that wasn't the issue.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to be here. That's what they're screaming.
Not yet.
And I'm in the minority, and I don't like the smell of my own farts. I'm like, how did you make that?
What about being okay with him?
I'm not. I try to.
Is it as bad as somebody else's?
People say, do you fart around your girlfriend? Do you fart around your wife? You know, and I say no, not because of them, but because of me first and foremost.
Would you rather smell a stranger's fart or your own?
I would take a
have to
chance on
pick.
a stranger's first because
Wow.
I know
That's some bad
I know
ones.
mine are upsetting.
So you must have some bad GI issues.
I don't know.
How loose are your stools? Are they tend to be loose, loosey goosey?
I don't know. They're in between. I think they're pretty normal.
Duck droppings, goat turds. What are they shaped like?
Like a big, I guess they're sort of.
I got to ask you something that we ask all of our guests, and I love this. While you're thinking about whether it's
Geese.
if you could get zapped to any city in the world, no travel layovers, no buckle your
big
the
goose, a big
seatbelt
goose.
of the person next to you before your own.
Why?
What city?
You know what? Cleveland. You ever been to Cleveland?
Oh yeah,
Oh wow.
Tell you why. When
by
I was-
Lake Erie.
Yeah, it's mostly because
Rock
when
and
I was
Roll Hall of Fame.
16 years old, I was there for 2 nights driving through with my family. I met a boy there. I only knew his first name. I was having a fantasy of going back and seeing if I could run into him.
Oh, it sounds like it was a little sparks were flying, maybe.
Yeah. Also, that was my first car accident. Was in Cleveland.
Oh. Was it with the boy?
Well, what happened is it was not a fatal one. I did not die in that one, but it was a family car accident. We got pulled over. We had to pull over. Our car hit another car. Long story short, another car came to see if we were okay. Pulled over. Their son got out. We started chatting. We started connecting. Before we know it, eventually the tow truck comes and we take off. I'm sitting up in the front of the tow truck, and I just remember watching him waving out the window. Yeah.
And that's the guy you want to go back and see if
Yeah.
you can find. Were the
And I-
people okay in the other car?
Yeah, the people we hit, they were okay. Everybody ended up living on that one.
A full.
That's good.
Yeah. Nobody has ever died except me.
In the accidents you've been a part of.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. I love that.
Absolutely.
So long story short,
Yeah.
I get out of line.
Yeah.
And the lifeguards, you're in the wrong place. You're in the. I go, man.
Oh, right. Yes. I
I slip on something. God knows what, because I don't know where we were. What's on the ground that's slippery, you know.
Right.
It wasn't a water slide because it was a long line to get to our slide. But
Oh, there wasn't water, because sometimes water parks will have puddles all
Everywhere.
over the place.
Everywhere.
I slip and boom, just like that. I slide to the front of the line and boom, I'm right back in my body in a hospital room.
Did people? Did people? Here's my question.
Yeah.
Do people think you were cutting?
Cutting.
Oh.
What does that mean? Cutting line.
Budging, budding.
I was all so fast. I just slid past all of me.
Oh.
All of me. Imagine sliding just past a bunch of you, looking at you, saying hi. Before, it was all too fast. All I know is when I was back in the hospital room, I knew where I was because I didn't have any balls. I mean,
That's
you
how
can
you-
check if you want. I'm comfortable.
I
I don't have any of those body issues.
That's good.
Yeah. You don't
But
want
if you
to.
want to check, you can.
I feel like you keep asking me, but
But I'm open.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
you're open to either.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you said this is a made up story, she might have balls in real life and it doesn't check out.
That the part of the story we didn't believe was that your balls went away.
Well, I never had them in the first place. I just only had them at the water slide.
I believe it.
Is there a snack that you like to take with you when you're taking a business trip?
I'm a peanut girl, but I'm open to anything. I'll eat a cashew. I won't complain.
Just loose nuts, or
How do you take your nuts?
I mean, is it like an individual snack pack, or are you bringing it from a can?
Every time I eat, nuts are loose. Well, how do you eat them?
But I mean, do you buy them wholesale? And I'm sorry if this is weird kind of stuff to ask, but this is a little bit what we like to figure out.
Off the beaten path, but I like it.
Uh-huh.
I'll allow it.
Thank you, Your Honor. If it pleases Charl, it's okay. We don't need to talk about the nuts.
No, I'm just wondering what is the alternative to a loose nut?
Well, they're all loose by the time you eat them.
Yeah.
I guess I'm talking about the carrying device.
What is the carrying device?
How do you keep your nuts?
Oh, it's in a bag. How do you keep yours?
It's like a packet.
It's a bag. That's a form of a bag, no?
Small bag.
Do correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's always going to be a bag of sorts.
You think it's semantics a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Well, Charl, we're going to pay the bills here.
Yeah.
And then we want to say goodbye and thank you. But Folks Business Trips is also brought to you by Goodland Realty. Looking for property managers? We're here. When's the last time you came by and talked to us at Goodland Realty? We're the property managers who give you more bang for your buck. From handling renter complaints to listing vacant units online, we've got you. We're Goodland. We also can help you find the home of your dreams, although that is not our go-to. We're mostly property managers and damn good at it. Goodland Realty is located in a parking lot called Fletcher Square at Glendale and Fletcher in Silver Lake, next to a large store called Catalyst that has been boarded up. That is spelled Catalyst. And then next to that, come see us at Goodland Realty.
And Charl, if you don't mind sticking around, this week has been tough. Let me just explain this way. Today's episode is dedicated to jolly old Saint Nick Dreckman. We called him Jolly Old Saint Nick. His actual name is Nicholas Dreckman. He's a big part of the podcast family here right from the start, which has been pretty recent. But again, it doesn't matter when the start is. It's that it's from the start. He passed away this morning, actually, from unknown causes. He was in charge of letting our guests know where they park when they come to do the podcast, which he would have been doing for you earlier today. I'm not sure if you got dropped here or not, among other things. I'm sure today's guest, Charl, you would have figured out where to park because of an email from jolly old Saint Nick Dreckman. He always went above and beyond and included a PDF of a map with a parking lot circled in red. That was just Nick, and he got that nickname, Jolly Old Saint Nick, not just because he shared a first name with the great Santa Claus, but also because he brought such a jolliness to work every day.
He did. He really did.
And to everyone who met him. So, and because he was kind of a bigger guy with a white beard. But there is a Nick Dreckman-sized hole, and Trey wrote that, and I couldn't agree more, in our offices today and forevermore. So this one goes out to Jolly old
Saint Nick. Ho, ho, ho.
And he would eat the cookies if you left him on a plate.
We left cookies out to sea one time, and we're pretty sure he's the one who downed those.
Yeah. Anyway, real crazy. We're real sad to see him go. And
I hope, just for you all, I hope he comes back.
Well, that's a good point.
It's been a few days.
This morning.
He was
less than
dead.
one.
It's just been about.
But he's officially declared dead?
Absolutely.
The
dead.
way we were told, they didn't give us like a official time or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was dead for almost 25 minutes, so I'm not saying everybody will go that long, but
That's pretty long.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, unfortunately, we're outside that window with Dreckman, but the point stands. You never know.
yeah.
Was 25 your longest?
25 was one longest. It's actually probably one of the longest ever.
Oh.
People.
Brag.
Yeah, I don't want to be that person, but I also want to be honest.
Yeah.
So it's,
If you got them, flaunt them.
If you
I
have
don't
them,
have them though. That's the thing.
I
You can-
didn't mean
okay.
that.
Yeah. I just wanted
Keep
you to
'em
know.
dry,
And I'm
though.
also very comfortable.
I
if you
now,
wanted to.
I actually now kind of think you do have them.
If you absolutely want to try, I'm super comfortable with people chicken.
maybe when we're done.
Okay, looks like you finally got through the Goldie shield. The Death Star has been exposed.
Not easy.
All right. Well, Charl, we got to thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
We
and
learned-
if you ever have an animal pass, you let me know because I will put them in a pose of your choice.
Yeah, if
I
you
love
feel like
that.
getting your animal's bones broken into a position
They're
that
not
you've
broken.
always
I don't break them.
I would love a I don't have a bird, but I would almost get one just for it to pass and have you do it like sneezing. Like
Yeah.
you're taking a wing and going like, ah, shit.
I honestly think it's the only thing you should do if you're going to taxidermy because to keep them in the posture of that they're naturally in just seems just dark and sad. But if you're going to make them smoking a cigarette, then it's going to make the whole world laugh. And now I see the purpose of keeping their bodies around.
Yeah.
What's the most surprising pose that they asked you to put their pet in?
I would say one time a guy had and this is not right, and I don't believe in having pet foxes, but he did have a fox that he shot, and he had me come in, and the fox is actually standing in a foxy pose.
Oh, got a little hip to the side. Cock.
And I thought, can I do this? And I found out there wasn't a person that didn't like it, that didn't see it as
And liked it.
a sort of
All
sexy pose.
Did the fox have a bullet hole in its head or anything? Or
No, he purposely made sure he shot it in the backside.
that's great.